Yo, this is Mista Min from Primat City TV, hanging out with
Embee and
Supreme from Looptroop Rockers.
Yeah, Looptroop Rockers. New album came out, hot, digging it really. Listen to the song on repeat. Actually, watch the video on YouTube. Crazy video, lot of crazy film. You guys use some Nazi propaganda film. Like, what's that about? Like, that's some extreme, like, strong pictures, you know what I'm saying? Can y'all, yeah.
Yeah, we wrote that song the day after the last Swedish election. And in the Swedish election, there was a right-wing party, you could say a racist party, who got 5% in Sweden. And that was really upsetting to us. And we kind of knew it was going to happen, but we had a studio session the day after, I think. That was already planned. So we all went to Gothenburg, where Embee has the studio, and I think we started writing like 3 songs that day, and they were all kind of about the election. And On Repeat was the one that we finished. And yeah, that's an important topic for us, but we haven't really, we've done songs like Fort Europa, but we never really did a song about racism, like straight up.
Oh, I had this idea with doors closing, and had been recording some doors slamming and stuff, and try to make the beat out of that sound, and it came really perfectly blended together with the lyrics, and just because we were really upset after the election, we did it really fast. We wrote it on a Monday, and the week after we had the video for it. We went down to Malmö and filmed with some friends, and they edited it really quickly. And
yeah, but so yeah, that was a hot topic in Sweden, because some of the Swedish, like the tabloid press, made a big thing about it. Yeah. So we got a lot of internet hate from the right-wing people. But I guess still, like 95% of the Swedish population voted, you know, did not vote for them. So I guess most people are on our side. But yeah, that was a hot topic. It still is in Sweden. I think it's the same thing all over Europe, actually.
Yeah, the video the song is amazing. I mean, seriously, that's probably my favorite song that I've heard so far on that album. Probably my favorite song from y'all. Like, that song is just banging. I could relate to it. I mean, I'm Latino. I grew up in the United States. Like, racism, very real. So definitely big ups for that. But what was up with Angela Merkel in the video? I'm sorry, I just didn't get that point.
Well, she just made a statement about how the multicultural society failed here in Germany. And I think a lot of those things, like a lot of the mainstream politicians, when they start making those kind of, you know, when they talk about stuff like that, it makes it almost accepted to be super right-wing, and it makes it almost accepted to be racist. And we don't think it's okay to have people started talking about racist parties like it's an okay option. It's something that we could work with, or something. Like the Swedish, like all of the other parties said that they were not going to collaborate with them in Sweden. But we all know, like, give it 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden it's going to be accepted to work with them, you know. So, and that's happening all over. That's why we put like Dutch politicians and from Denmark and Sweden and Germany and all over, because it's happening all over, you know. And yeah, I think it's a very sad thing.
Respect, man. Seriously, it's really hard to speak on that topic. I mean, seriously, especially since, I mean, yeah, y'all like a bunch of white guys from Sweden talking about like racism in the world, but that's dope. Like, I mean,
yeah, but racism doesn't only have to. I mean, that's something we all have to deal with. You know, I don't want to live in a society where racism is something that my friends have to deal with it, even though I'm not personally affected in that sense. But like, my daughter is 3rd-generation immigrant in Sweden, but she's from the States, so maybe it's not gonna like affect her that much. But still, like, if she was from Iran, it would be a whole different story. And to me, it's not really a different story. It is what it is. It's just people. But for a lot of other people, you know, and we have a lot of our close friends have are so-called immigrants, and yeah. And even just like for us making this kind of music, like if they get more power, we won't be allowed to make this kind of music, you know. So first they're gonna blame the black people or the Jews, and then it's gonna be like the intellectuals or the musicians or everybody who wants something else out of society. and it's just gonna be like, I mean, we've seen it before, and that's basically what the song is. Like, it's on repeat. It seems like it's happening again.
Yo, like I said, my favorite song on that album, Hot Joint. But the title song is Professional Dreamers. Saw that video. Real cool song, very inspiring. Like, who's the message? Who you sending that message to? Like, who you talking to on that song? Yeah.
I think every time you write a song, you write for yourself. Like, you're telling yourself something, and hopefully you can connect with other people who listen to it, and you can tell them something. But first and foremost, I think it's for yourself. And hopefully we can inspire younger people, and we can inspire people around us. But yeah, I think also it's stuff like that, you actually do it for yourself first, I think. You have something to say?
Yeah, but it's more about describing our situation and our dreams, and like Promo's opening verse is about how he is still able to live his dream, and how he got started, and why he's doing this, and why it's his dream. And so the whole song is about us living our dreams, and it's not a fancy dream like of money or absolute fame, or it's more like this is our dreams and we're living it, and we're really thankful that we're able to do it. But it takes a lot of hard work to do it as well, you know. It's
right.
We work a lot, and it's a dream coming true, but we're slowly been building it, so it's not an overnight thing.
Yeah. How was the video shoot in Spain? Like, that's a beautiful video shoot. Like, when I first saw it, I thought it was like, did these guys fly to California? Like, where they at? And I Googled it, you know, on the internet. Where they filmed this video?
It's been just happening that we're filmed a lot of our videos for this album in big cities around the world, and some of them are not released yet, but we've been to Bangkok and Barcelona,
Cuba.
Havana, Cuba, London.
Yeah, it's been big cities.
Stockholm, yeah.
No, but actually we work with a company that's doing our merchandise, online merchandise, and they have a skateboard team called Sweet Skateboards. We connected with them to meet up with this kid called Joseph Scott, who's a professional skateboarder. Went down there, and we basically shot the video with their, what's it called, videographer, that's doing like the skate videos, yeah. So I was talking to him, and we've been planning it before, and then we went down for just only like 2 or 3 days to shoot that video. Yeah. And it was a nice thing. We had a few beers and kind of, you know, hung out with the kids.
Barcelona was a good view for the video, because we've been there a lot, and Promo used to live in Spain for a while, and we have good friends in Barcelona. So we've been there, both professionally and on vacation, visiting.
And you have the light is nice there. It's nice. It's a nice place to shoot a video. And right now it's the skate capital of Europe, so all of the skateboarders come there. So that's also interesting for me, because I grew up skateboarding, so it's just fun to be there, you know.
Oh man, the concept of professional dreamer, that sounds like really dope. I went on y'all's website as well, and I saw like the professional dreamer of the day, and you guys supporting people. Like, why are you guys doing that?
There was a funny idea that we just came up with long before the album dropped, actually. We just made a list of professional dreamers that we know and that we think are dreamers, in a sense. And that can be really weekday dreamers and, I mean, all kinds of dreamers. Just doing something they really want to do and believe in.
It would have been really easy to just put musicians on there. Yeah. We wanted to have like our friends.
But it turned out that it was quite hard to like maintain putting one person up every day. We just thought we'd send some T-shirts to people and they can take photos of themselves. But
we actually took most of the photos ourselves when we met people.
I think we have like 50 dreamers or something. Then we had to quit it. But I think we're gonna keep publishing dreamers every now and then, but not a daily thing.
And I think it's a hopefully it's also a way to inspire whoever's visiting our website, you know, that there's people doing weird stuff and they somehow make it work as their job. And I think that's what, to me, it's inspiring to see how people do like strange stuff. Not just musicians, but people doing anything, you know.
I definitely dug it. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Another guy living his dream, and it's like really awesome and actually like helpful, because I mean, it's good for anybody to see somebody living their dream. So definitely another respect, you know, big ups for that, because that's awesome. That's really positive stuff that you guys are doing. Real positive music.
Thanks.
Speaking on the whole professional dreamers thing, the newest track y'all made a video for is "Do." I watched that one too. Funky video, y'all. I dig it. Love the breakdancing up in it. That what's her name?
Gnucci Banana.
Gnucci Banana. I didn't know if it was Gnucci Banana. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think
She's actually from our hometown. She's younger than us. She's 10 years younger, so she's another
we didn't
generation.
Even know that at first.
And we didn't know her that much, but she also grew up in Västerås, where we grew up, and so we connected pretty quickly with her.
Yeah, she's cool. She's dope.
And we actually "Do" was the track we had a lot of trouble with during the recording of this album, because we didn't have a chorus for it.
Okay.
It was one of the first songs we recorded. We didn't have a chorus that fitted, so I think we made like 20 or 25 different choruses. I still got them all, and, you know. And then we finally invited her on a Saturday, just a couple of weeks before the mix down of the whole album, and she nailed this piece. We had a small idea before, and then this is right and correct.
Yeah, the video's hot. I really, like I said, she makes it crazy. Like really, she brings like an extra level to it. But what's really cool is the whole the overalls. Like, what's up with the red overalls? I mean, I see like posters everywhere with the red overalls. Y'all are wearing red overalls?
Yeah, for a long time we've been trying to step up like our live show, and like a few albums back we decided to make like a stage outfit, and we did like we made these basketball jerseys that we wore, like two different ones, yeah, for 2 tours. But for this tour, we couldn't really decide what to wear. So after a while, we just decided to wear red. That's just like anybody can wear whatever they want to, as long as it's all red. So that's basically our stage outfit.
We just decided on a color. And
yeah.
And red is pretty easy to get, you know. White is also easy to get, you know.
But red has always been our color, I think.
And we also had a backdrop that was red, and you know, everything is red. Our background singers are red. And my drums, I play drums on stage now. They're orange, but it's almost red.
Almost red.
Yeah.
Nice.
My drumsticks are red.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And my heart is red.
Your heart, yeah. Okay. Seriously, you guys make a lot of great music. I saw this one music video on the internet, and I think millions of people have seen it as well. It's the Long Arm of the Law. Crazy music video. Could not find which album it was on. I Googled it and Googled it and Googled it, and I'm like, where's this album? I want to get this, because that song is dope and the video is crazy. Where did you guys film it? Why were there so many people? Like, where did you find? What's up with the police? Like, explain.
That is a song from. We wrote it in 1998, actually, and that was before our first official album. We released a lot of EPs and 12 inches and tapes back in the 90s, but this was on our first album called Modern Day City Symphony. And the video is made by a good friend of ours called Simon Klose. And
it was actually our first video, right?
Really our first video that we shoot. And we just decided that let's gather a lot of people in a subway train and get them drunk and just, you know, go
The funny
mayhem.
thing is that we were still kind of involved in the Stockholm graffiti scene at the time. So we invited a lot of people, and of course, like the most part of them were graffiti writers, so it was kind of natural to be in the subway. And we took over one of the cars, and there were a lot of like plainclothes policemen and like the car before us and after us, but they couldn't really do anything because there was so many of us. And I remember we bought like moonshine, like, you know, the homemade liquor.
Yeah.
Because back then our videos were shown on like MTV and stuff, so we couldn't show anybody drinking. So everybody had like regular, I think like plastic containers,
cups,
you know, so everybody got drunk. And then, but then all of a sudden, people started smoking and rolling up weed in the car, and people started bombing the train, and it kind of turned out crazy. But nothing bad happened to us. Like, it's still like a video that a lot of people relate to us. You know, one of our best videos, and I think it has that energy of us being like young and kind of wild at the time. And there's also footage from the Reclaim the Streets party. That was like the most famous one in Stockholm, where we kind of performed, I guess, and it turned into some kind of ride afterwards. And
it's really a spontaneous video throughout. You know.
And I remember, because the editing, when you look at it now, it looks so bad. But I remember we paid some money to go into like a real studio to do like the actual editing and like the effects that they have.
Scratches.
Yeah, it looked really
there are no
old school.
scratches in that song. But, yeah.
It looked really old school even back then, like, you know, where they like change frames with this thing, like comes in and comes out. But yeah, I think that's still a nice video, actually.
The video has really great energy. I love the how he interviews, how Promoe interviews the police officer.
Yeah.
And you have the subtitles in English, so like people like me can understand, you know. And I really love how the verses are about. Exactly that, like the graffiti scene and stuff like that, and the injustice therein.
I remember I was really upset at the time because we had a friend that killed another guy, and he kind of got, I think he never really got sentenced. He never really did time, and he got arrested a couple of times afterwards, but nothing really happened to him. Like, and I mean, that's, in a way, that was all right, because I don't want anybody to go to jail, but we had another friend at the time that was never convicted of everything, but he was like, they suspected that he was doing a lot of graffiti, which he was doing. And he got sent to like juvenile prison. And now he's like actually a hardcore criminal. But at the time I was just so upset about that thing. Like, you can kill somebody and nothing really happens, but you can ride on a train and that will send you to a prison. Like, it was weird. And that was one of our first friends that went to jail for graffiti.
Yeah, in Munich, there's a graffiti scene as well that they're really like smashing down on. The police have like special teams. They pull out choppers and stuff like that now. It's intense. Like a rider can't even get no break. So, this is how it is. But yeah, you guys were, like you said, you guys were in Cuba, Havana. My brother's in Cuba right now. You got to tell us, how is Cuba? Like, I've never been able to go. Like, I want to go. I'm Puerto Rican, so like that's not that far away, but like, yeah.
We had a really great time. We met a lot of people, a lot of Cubans, and we linked up with some new friends that are in our video for Magic, the one we filmed in Havana. And we also did one show at a festival called Peace and Love Havana. It's a Swedish festival going to Cuba to do the same thing, but in Cuba.
Yeah.
And big audience, and we had some fans that had our music in some way, you know, some CDs smuggled into the country. And
I think it's like German exchange students and Sweden exchange students, like, you know, copied
really,
CDs.
It's so much music on Cuba. It's, you know, it really blew me off. It's really friendly environment.
Yeah, and we hooked up with Ex Alfonso, who was one of the biggest one of the biggest stars out there, and he was kind of the co-organizer. We had a party at his house. But to tell you the truth, I didn't really understand the country because there's a lot of good and bad, you know, with the whole system, with the whole political system. I didn't get my head around it. Like, it was very interesting to be there, but I can't really decide if I think it's all very good or very bad in some ways, you know. But at least, I mean, being in that area, I think they do pretty good compared to, you know, the Haitian people or, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like I said, I'm Puerto Rican, so I can definitely I know what you're talking about. Like Dominican Republic, Haiti, it's really hard sometimes over there, especially Haiti. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like, man, but it's beautiful though. I mean,
yeah, it's really beautiful, and then nice people. Like, I really, that was the main thing. I think the music and the people. It was really cool. They were friendly.
Now, speaking of music, I want to know, I saw a video that y'all are doing like about the tour diaries, One Bag Travelers, and you mentioned something about like Ableton. You know, explain One Bag Travelers, and then tell us what you produce on, man. Cause your beats knock. I'm not gonna lie, they're dope. They gotta be.
Thanks.
These guys rapping on, you know what I'm saying? You guys rocking internationally. You making hot music.
I let them rap over it.
You let them rap.
times,
Okay, okay.
He begged for those beats.
We have a different setups, of course. I run my own studio, and it's within a really big studio, one of Northern Europe's biggest studios, actually.
Okay.
And I share studio with Jose Gonzalez and Clear Up and the Soundtrack of Our Lives. So we have a really good environment for like inviting people to a track, or a lot of ears listening, and you know, really good gear. So it's one thing in the studio, and then one thing in our live situation. And now I got a setup with the Ableton Live, and I got this e-drum set called Toolbox Drumit Five. It's a Swedish company that manufactured D-drums before. And, really nice sounding drums, and I can make my own sounds, of course. So I use a lot of sounds from the actual tracks that we're playing, and just filling in gaps in the music. So it's like a big machine park on stage, and we added some pads to it and some analog stuff as well.
Okay.
So it's yeah, we like new technique, me and Vladi, the sound engineer. So we're always experimenting how we can add to the show in some way. I got kind of tired of just standing and DJing. You know, it's, to me it was kind of undynamic after a while. You know, I couldn't do anything with the songs. I can't express myself.
I think it's kind of cool to always have that, because I mean it has more of a live experience. You can do a fill, you could do breaks, I don't know, something like that. Yeah. So,
and we keep on evolving it. You know, it's I'm not a drummer. I'm just keeping yeah. But I don't want to look down on other drummers by saying I'm a drummer. But you know,
you drum.
I drum. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. But you didn't answer the question. What you produce on, man? Come on.
Yeah,
MPC.
it differs, like I said.
Okay.
I have different kind of gear, but it's pretty much the basics. So, some hardware stuff, and I use Logic and Pro Tools mainly when I'm inside a computer environment.
Okay. Yeah.
And I got a couple of synthesizers and SSL. Console and different kind of
SSL
stuff.
console. For those that don't know, that's very expensive. Like thousands. Like not Ferrari expensive, but like BMW 5 Series expensive. I think it's like BMW 5 Series expensive. Like
yeah. Yeah, but really basic. You know, I can sit in the back of the car and make a track in Logic or Ableton or.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Cool.
A lot of records. I use a lot of records still. I go digging a lot.
Okay, how many records you got?
Not that many, but like 3,000-4,000.
3,000-4,000, not that many.
That's not a lot.
Weird records, like religious records and Eastern European jazz records.
Yeah, I love Eastern European jazz. I do.
I'm gonna go Google some Eastern European jazz after this interview. I'm just gonna get
a really wide expression to just say Eastern European jazz, but
yeah, but to me it's Eastern European jazz.
Yeah. And I still regret, because Matthias' grandfather was Czech, and he had a big collection of jazz records from Czech Republic and Poland.
You didn't have the time to go through it,
no,
right?
and it was like when he passed away, he still had it, and he wanted to give it away, and I was too late, so they threw it away instead.
Yeah, they did.
So.
Ow!
I also replay a lot with live instruments, try to make it sound like samples nowadays.
Yeah, actually, a lot of time people ask us about samples.
Where's that from?
And I for a fact know that most of the stuff is not sampled. It's just him playing it. But a lot of times we make that, like we try to make it sound like a sample. Even on the new album, we did this, like the classic hip hop things with on the song called El Clásico. It's like he's cutting on.
We had an interview the other day in Hamburg, and she was asking how we came up with the idea to scratch on those typical old school beats, breaks, and scratches things. And she didn't realize it was us making the sounds. That was our kind of flip to that song, that it's us making those.
Yeah.
When we started out, me and Promoe back in like '91, I only had those beats, breaks, and scratches with like, oh yeah, and those stuff. So I used them a lot, and now we just wanted to to redo it. With
Yeah, but it's also it's a good way to keep like a sample-free album. Yeah, I mean
a
that's
sample-free environment.
especially when
like
it's
that.
coming out in the States and stuff like that. We don't want any samples on it.
Sample states. I'm already getting nauseous just thinking about. Oh no. But yo, seriously, dope music. Respect on this new album. If y'all haven't copped it, cop it. It's worth buying. It's worth that, man. And y'all need to go see them live. How many more tour dates y'all have now?
This is our last German date for a couple of weeks, actually.
Yeah.
We're going to Czech Republic, in Poland, Estonia, and then to the States for 3 dates next week. But then we're gonna be back for festivals this summer.
And we're doing Münster, not too far away, like in 3 weeks or something.
I think
2 weeks.
26th of June.
Yeah, but then it's gonna be festival dates here in Germany and in Switzerland.
We're doing the Splash Festival and
Nice.
Hip Hop Camp.
Hip Hop Camp. Yeah. Dope.
There's a lot of good festivals.
Yeah.
And it touched the air in Switzerland. Oh, that's a big one. Seems to be a good lineup. Yeah.
One last question. What's I mean, y'all just dropped an album, but still, I mean, I know that maybe y'all got what are the next plans? Like, what are the next ideas? Any solo projects? Any? I don't know what to ask.
We've done so many solo projects last years. I've done 2 solo albums, and Promoe did 1 solo album, 1 solo mixtape, and I also produced a lot for other people. And so I think basically we're talking about just really trying to focus on Looptroop, because it's been like 3 years, 4 years sometimes between the albums.
We feel like it's
not
too
4
much.
years, but 3 years.
And it's hard for us to get back in the studio because we kind of have to tour a lot to just make the money back and be able to survive. So we've been talking about maybe trying to do the next Looptroop album a little bit sooner. But we don't really know. I mean, it's hard to write songs on tour. So right now we're just focusing on making this live show like the best we can.
We still have some spare tracks from the Professional Dreamers album that we didn't put on the album. Not because they're not good. It's because of the concept.
It like the whole thing. So
and those songs are actually pretty political, like that type of songs. I don't know.
I would like them.
you were like...
Everyone's gonna get them somehow.
Yeah, we're gonna put them out somehow.
In some way, yeah.
Cool, man. Well, thank you guys.
Hello, ladies and gents. We are the Looptroop Rockers from Sweden. I'm Embee.
This is
my
Supreme.
good friend, colleague.
We're on Primat City TV. Peace and love.